Hi, Colleen Say Backbar, explaining to you now, what does a fiduciary do? So, as I mentioned, a fiduciary can be a trustee, a power of attorney for property, a guardian of the estate, or an executor or administrator of an estate. So, what the heck does a fiduciary do? Well, we have really four primary roles. One, the first step that we always have to do when we are stepping into a fiduciary role, and remember, think assets, think finances. Okay, we have to secure those assets. That's our very first responsibility. Your house could be an asset, and if we are your power of attorney for property, for example, something happens to you, you go into the hospital, we need to secure that asset. Okay, that means locking down the house, making sure that nobody can get in and protecting that asset. So that's one. The second step is really to pay expenses. So, right, the electric bill needs to be paid, your phone bill needs to be paid, your mortgage needs to be paid, your rent, your landscaping, your snow removal here in the Midwest. But also under that paying expenses umbrella is your taxes. If you do own property, and even if you don't, you probably have income tax of some variety. We have to be sure that your taxes are filed and that we pay them if you owe anything. And also, if you are due a refund, we'll collect that for you and put that in your bank account. And then the other thing that we do is pay any debts. But I want to be really clear about paying debts. We have to validate that those debts actually exist. So let's say, and we've had this happen, a neighbor, maybe not so nice neighbor in this case, comes over and says, oh, I helped so-and-so pay for their snow removal. I pay for that, so I need to be reimbursed for that. And, we always did things via cash, so I don't have any receipts. Well, then I can't probably pay that person. So if there are valid debts, meaning that person can prove that they either provided a service or they paid something on your behalf and they need reimbursement, then no problem. We'll go ahead, we'll validate that debt, and then if it's valid, we will pay it. And so once all those debts are paid and the expenses are ongoing, and maybe we're ready to close the case because either you have rallied and you're doing great, and you can take your finances back over, you take control of them again, or more likely is the case, perhaps you've passed and you've asked us to manage your final affairs, so then we close that case. And when we close that case, usually there's money left over that you have instructed us through your legal documents how to distribute that money. And so we're going to distribute that to your heirs or to charities, however you tell us to. So that's what we do. And a lot of times people ask, well, how are you paid? That depends on the role. Usually the trust documents, which would name us as a trustee, that's going to specify how we get paid. It says right in there, the trustee gets reasonable compensation for what they've done. And that's very similar language in the power of attorney for property role. And if you are naming an executor, you are doing that through a document called your will, or it's sometimes called the last will and testament. That will also say that we are paid a reasonable fee for our services. And a guardianship of the estate, we would be paid out of your resources if you're under guardianship, but only if the court says it's okay. So I hope this information was helpful. It's a lot of information, so do yourself a favor, either rewatch this video or feel free to give me a call. My name is Colleen Say Backbar, and you can reach me at Trinity Advocacy Group by calling us at 331-901-5945 or visit us at www.trinityadvocacygroup.com. Thank you for watching.